Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe Cooking Channel. Today we're not cooking. I'm going to show you some tricks and show you how to break down a whole beef tenderloin that we can use for 4 or 5 additional cooks. So we're going to get started today by breaking it down, and then we're going to have a little mini series of videos on what you can do with the meat from that whole beef tenderloin. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to get this party started. I've got a whole beef tenderloin here that weighs approximately 7 pounds. It may be just a tad shy of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this guy down into its pieces. And this one's fairly well trimmed, but we're going to take this fat and this membrane off of here also. So I'm just going to start by trimming up some of the fat. And then I'm going to get my knife up under the tip of that membrane there, and I'm just going to pull up on it, and we're going to use the knife to get under that and pull that off in several pieces. And then we're going to have a look here. This piece that's hanging off here is called the chain, and we're going to pull that loose. Most of that will pull loose. I'm going to have a little piece to cut right here at the end, and you just kind of get in there with your fingers. You can find where that separates, and you'll have to use your knife very little to get through this. There's just a couple of places here that you'll want to use the knife to trim, and that piece comes all the way down. And that's perfectly good meat. We are going to save this, and we're going to do a cook with this, and we'll talk about that a little later. Now we have the head, or what's called the petite roast by some. It's this piece that's kind of folded over here on the end. We're going to get in there and break that loose. And that is a whole nother meal in itself. This is called the petite roast. We're going to use this later to make another meal as well. We'll make medallions from this. And I've got a little bit of the membrane still left here that we're going to get loose. And then what we have left is the tenderloin. We've got the head end, which is the larger end down here, and then we've got the tail. And I'm going to trim a little bit of this tail off, and it's going to go here with the meat from the chain. And like I said, we're going to use that. There's a lot of good uses for this. You can make stew beef out of it. You can make stir fry. You can grind it up and make hamburger as well. But what we're interested in mainly here is this big guy. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take a piece out of the middle that's going to be about 2 pounds or so. That's going to be our Chateaubriand, and then we're going to have some steaks left over on each side of it. So I'm going to find the point here where I want to take the Chateau, which I'm going to start probably about right here and probably about right here. This is the center cut of the beef tenderloin. This is really great. This one's a little smaller maybe than some people might do for a Chateau, but we're going to do this one, and we're going to do a special cook with just the Chateau. And then we're going to have some fillets, and I like my fillets kind of thick, so I'm going to cut this one into about 2. These are going to be some nice big thick fillets. And over here on this one, I'm going to take just a little bit off the small end of that, and I'm going to put that with our chained meat as well. and I'm gonna get 2 more fillets from here. And this smaller one, I'm gonna butterfly it since it is a little smaller. We're gonna cut down just into it like that, and then kind of fold that over and turn that into another fillet. So we've got the Chateau, we've got 2 really big fillets, 2 smaller fillets, the petite roast, which like I said is a meal in itself, and we've got the chain meat that we can use for either stir fry, beef stew, or ground beef. And I will probably also clean this up just a little bit more. And the only waste we have from this entire almost 7-pound fillet or 7-pound tenderloin is right there. It's maybe 2 ounces, 3 ounces at most of trimmings. So I'm going to package all this stuff up individually, and we're going to come back to it individually and do various cooks with the whole tenderloin and show you how to use all of that. And now that you have that whole tenderloin broken down, I like to vacuum seal it, vacuum seal the pieces, put it in the refrigerator or the freezer depending on how long it's going to be till I'm ready to use it. That Chateaubriand, that's a piece that a lot of people don't normally do. You can break that whole thing down into some really nice thick fillets or thinner fillets, whatever you like. So follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe. Follow us on Twitter @Kamado Joe. And until next time, I'm John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.